Which is easier to cultivate, tea or coffee? We all know that tea and coffee are two of the most popular beverages in the world. But which one is easier to cultivate, tea or coffee? This post will look at the differences between tea and coffee cultivation, so you can decide which one is easier to grow. On the one side, we have tea. Tea is a plant that grows naturally in the wild and can be harvested from farms worldwide. On the other hand, coffee beans must be imported from outside the farm because they only grow in particular climates. Which option will produce more coffee crops for your country? History of tea and coffee. Tea and coffee are two of the most popular drinks in the world, but their origins are very different. Coffee was native to Ethiopia and first domesticated there over 1,000 years ago. On the other hand, tea originated in China and has been cultivated there for over 4,000 years. Interestingly, tea and coffee were initially consumed for their medicinal properties rather than their flavor. It was in the 16th century that coffee began to be brewed for enjoyment, while tea drinking became popular in China during the Tang dynasty, 618 to 907. Regarding cultivation, tea and coffee plants can be grown in various climates. However, tea plants are generally more resistant to harsh conditions than coffee plants. This is one reason tea is grown in many parts of the world, including India and Sri Lanka, where coffee cannot thrive. The difference in the cultivation process. The main difference between cultivating tea and coffee is the amount of shade the plants need. Tea plants need a lot of shade, especially young ones, while coffee plants need very little shade. Shade is essential for controlling the temperature of the leaves, which affects the flavor of the tea. Tea also needs to be harvested by hand, which is more labor-intensive than harvesting coffee mechanically. The tea plant also has a shorter lifespan than the coffee plant, so it needs to be replanted more often. The climate required for each to cultivate tea or coffee requires specific climates. Tea plants are more delicate and need cooler weather with more humidity, while coffee plants can tolerate a broader range of temperatures. Tea plants need a humid environment with temperatures ranging from 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit to grow. They also prefer shady conditions and acidic soil. On the other hand, coffee plants can grow in a broader range of climates. They can tolerate hot and humid weather and colder, drier conditions. Coffee plants also prefer full sun and well-drained soil. So, which is easier to cultivate? It really depends on the specific climate conditions where you live. If you have a suitable climate for tea, it will be easier to produce tea. Cultivating coffee will be easier if you have the appropriate coffee environment. Which is more popular? There are a few factors to consider when determining which is more popular: geographical location, history, and personal preference. Regarding geographical location, tea is more prevalent in Asia, while coffee is more popular in the Americas. This is due to various reasons, including climate, availability of resources, and cultural preferences. As far as history goes, tea has been around for centuries longer than coffee. It was first cultivated in China and then spread to other parts of Asia before making its way to Europe and the rest of the world. On the other hand, coffee originated in Ethiopia and only began to be widely consumed in the 17th century. Finally, it comes down to personal preference. Some people prefer the taste of tea, while others find coffee to be more their cup of tea. Some enjoy both equally. Why? There are many factors to consider when determining which crop is easier to cultivate. Climate, soil type, and water availability all play a role in the ease of cultivation. Tea plants are generally more tolerant of poor growing conditions than coffee plants. Tea can be grown in a broader range of climates and soils, and even cultivated in areas with lower rainfall levels. Coffee plants are more sensitive to changes in temperature and humidity, making them more challenging to grow in some regions. Origin of tea is believed to have originated in the region of Yunnan in southwestern China. According to legend, tea was first discovered by the Chinese Emperor Shennong in 2737 BCE. Shennong is said to have been a skilled herbalist and scientist who personally tested many of the herbs he came across. While trying a new spice, he is said to have boiled water in a pot over a fire. A leaf from a nearby tree fell into his pool, and Shennong was pleased to find that the result was a delicious and refreshing drink. Origin of coffee. The coffee plant, Coffea, is native to Ethiopia. It was first discovered by a goatherd named Kaldi, who noticed that his goats became more energetic after eating the berries from a particular bush. Kaldi shared his discovery with the local monks, who began to brew a drink with the coffee berries and found that it helped them stay awake during long nights of prayer. Thank you for watching. CoffeeEternal.com